Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. And welcome to Game Day. That's right. It's week 3 in the NFL already, and it's an important week. Now, I apologize. Now guys, we're going to change some things up a little bit because we're learning about what's going on with YouTube. It's not the content. It's not the comments. It's not the trolls that have been the problem for me. The problem is basically YouTube has new algorithms and they have a spam fighter. And it's basically machines that are reading binary code and looking at stuff, taglines, names, and things like that. And when they see repetition, they deem it as spam. So every morning that I list the Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys report, they see it 20 times and say, you're spamming. Even though every day is a different thing. Hopefully what will happen is in a couple of weeks, a person will actually look at it and say, oh, it's not really spam. And it'll come back. But that is what it is these days. You know, I'm old, and I've always hated having to go on Amazon to order stuff. Yes, the prices are cheap, but there's something about going to the old hardware store where Frank, you know, he smelled like more fertilizer and things like that, but he could tell you exactly what kind of grass seed that you needed. You scoop some out, pour it in a bag, and take it home. He could go through and you could take him a piece of paint and he would hand mix it, not with a computer or anything like that. He would know what colors and how to do it. And we've lost that kind of personal touch now in society where we are emboldened to the machines, or excuse me, we are slaves to the machines, so to speak. And that's where we are. So we're not going to be doing quite as many videos, and we're going to be changing up. So if you're looking for the Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys report, it'll just basically be my first video in the morning, and we'll make sure it has different taglines and a different title. So the machines that are out to get me, like Terminator, won't get me. But back to the weather. You got Aaron Rodgers, who has a hurt knee, bone bruise and things, that's going to be playing on a sloppy field against the Redskins. And you wonder how well it's going to hold up, as well as Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz coming back from not one ligament tear, but 2 ligament tears in very short order, playing his first game since. Now, here's the thing to me that the NFL is kind of screwed the pooch on. When they did the last collective bargaining agreement, you had older players that were part of the negotiation, and basically they didn't want to practice. That's why during training camp you don't have 2-a-days anymore. You only have 14 padded practices. You can't tackle guys to the ground. And then during the season you only have 14 padded practices as well, and you have to use up a minimum of 11 of them by week 11. So here it is. Carson Wentz was cleared Monday. Tuesday is an off day. Wednesday is your first practice. Thursday, Friday, and then, of course, a game today. He hasn't been hit. He hasn't had contact. And I know from personal experience, when you first get out there with that knee, you favor it. You think about it. Because, you know, you don't want to get hurt on it. Somebody starts following close to you, you kind of react and kind of pull that leg out of the way. You don't react the same way. And now you put a brace on top of it, which really gives you a false sense of security. One of the worst knee injuries I've ever seen in my life was at JMU to a Lincoln Wood, our tight end. We used to wear knee braces, and I hated them because it always felt like it slowed me down, because your knee actually, you know, you don't think about your knee moving side to side, but it has to have some give. When you plant and cut, you still have a little bit of a bend in there. And for me, these braces wouldn't give you that little bend. It kind of inhibits your moving too much. But I remember seeing Lincoln Wood hitting that knee brace, and it just literally... So sometimes that gives you that false sense of security that you think, oh, I got the brace on. But it's going to change the way he plays. It's going to slow him down some. It's going to be cumbersome. It's going to be something that you notice. And he's not going to be able to play the same way he was with reckless abandon. It'll be interesting to see how that transpires and how that folds, as well as being rusty, because to me, the problem with the NFL is football is not like any other sport. You can't just go from 0 to 60. To me, the NFL is screwing itself over because they're not putting in that time. Your body needs to get, the calluses. It needs to get used to those hits and things, and they're not doing it. And therefore, you see when guys finally get out there from, playing in practice with shirts and T-shirts and stuff, and then having full contact, you see more injuries because your body has not been used to tackling the right way and going to the ground and how to fall. It has not been used to getting those bone-jarring hits. So that's just my take on it. We'll see what happens with the next collective bargaining agreement. But I think that is part of the problem, because I remember 6 weeks of training camp for teams, 6 preseason games. Yet I don't remember as many injuries like we have now. You follow my take here? Okay, so that is with those guys, because those games are important, as well as the New York stinking Giants going to the Texas for the toilet bowl. Hopefully the Texans will take care of business. Hopefully the Colts will take care of business, and we'll find out that the Colts are a better team than we thought. And the Green Bay Packers, God, hate to root for Green Bay and Aaron frickin' Rodgers, but, we'll see what happens. Now, for our Dallas Cowboys, it's real simple. We have to get on track with Zeke Elliott. We got to start running the ball, because it's important to be able to run the ball in Seattle. That 12th man is a mother. I've told you guys, being inside that stadium is literally like being inside of a jet engine. It's just loud. It's just like a roar like you've never felt before. If the offensive line can get in there and open up some holes and get Zeke running downhill, picking up a few first downs and stuff, it will set the tone for that game. And if we can go down, because we always take the ball first, we know we always take the ball first. If we can go down and score on that first drive, then that kind of puts the monkey on Russell Wilson's back, who right now doesn't have a running game, which falls right into our hands, because that pass rush that we have is a beast. It is a mother. And going against their offensive line, where their center is now out, their tackle is just back from injury. If we can make them one-dimensional, or keep them being one-dimensional, that's going to bode well for that defensive pass rush, and it could be a long day for Russell Wilson. Now, keep in mind, Seattle looked pathetic on their first 2 games because they were on the road. They are back home with some home cooking, sleeping in your own beds, which always makes it a little bit easier to play for everybody but the Dallas Cowboys, who, strangely enough, have a better road record over the last 10 years than home. I'm still scratching my head on that one. It's no rhyme or reason. Things that go in our favor. Zeke Elliott, the first couple of games of the season thus far in his short career, has averaged 65 yards a game. By the time he gets to week 3 on, it's 112. Hopefully that trend continues starting today, that he gets over 100 yards and just runs the hell out of the rock. Jason Garrett, if nothing else, he is a creature of habit. Gets to 2-1 every time in week 3. It's just crazy, some of the numbers with Jason Garrett. Just like losing the first game of the season, the Cowboys have made the playoffs every year. Win the first game of the season, they don't. Don't ask me. I don't know why. It's just like that, and that's the way it is. Run DMC reference. But I am behind today, so I actually have to go out because today is an all-defense day. With the rain, like it's been raining last night and today, we're not, smoking anything, but we are doing, of course, Jobu's Wings. And because we're looking for our defense to play lights out, we're going to do black and blue burgers. And one of you great fans, and I've got to go back through and find the name of you, has the perfect name for our defense, the black and blue defense. And in honor of that comment, these are going to become the black and blue Dallas Cowboys defensive sliders. And I can't wait to make those because I'm looking to play lights out with that defense. We're also going to have the D-Slaw sliders, which are shrimp sliders. And if you've ever been to, having a brain fart. Fish bones. They have those bang bang shrimp. Well, we make our own bang bang shrimp with a sweet sauce over top of it, coleslaw, put it on a bun. Incredible slider sandwich. So we're going to have those as well. And of course, we're going to have tacos. So I got to get out to the store, pick some stuff up, get everything ready because we got some friends coming over, and we'll be live streaming during the game as always, talking about the Dallas Cowboys, what's going on, what we see, what we like, what we hate, and we'll be rising and falling together. So guys, hang tight. I'll be back on with any news on the Dallas Cowboys. I'm Mark Holmes with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and I'll see you soon.